Okay, let's talk about this Miss North Carolina USA drama that just exploded online. So here's the quick version. Brittany Boltinhouse got stripped of her title weeks before the Miss USA pageant because of some old social media posts resurfacing. The organization called her out for racism, homophobia, and transphobia, and now the first runner-up is taking her spot. But wait, before we just nod along with the outrage cycle, let's actually think about what's happening here. Because this isn't just about one pageant queen falling from grace. This is a case study in how social media, accountability, and public image collide in 2026. And honestly, it's way more complicated than the headlines make it seem. First off, let's address the obvious. If you're a public figure, especially one representing a state in a national competition, your past statements matter. But here's what bugs me, this isn't about a recent rant. We're talking about old posts. Like, years-old content that people dug up and suddenly decided defines her entire character. And sure, maybe some of those posts were legitimately problematic. But let's be real, most of us said or liked something stupid on MySpace or early Instagram that we'd regret today. So why is this still career-ending material in 2026? What's the statute of limitations on internet stupidity? That's a question nobody's really asking here. Now, the Miss USA organization's statement says racism and bigotry aren't tolerated. And yeah, on paper, that sounds noble. But from my perspective, this feels less like a moral stand and more like damage control. Think about it, if they'd ignored the backlash, they'd be complicit in the eyes of the public. But by throwing Boltinhouse under the bus, they get to virtue signal without addressing the systemic issues in pageants themselves. Like, how often do these organizations actually take proactive stances on social justice versus reacting to PR crises? This feels like performative wokeness, not genuine progress. And then there's the replacement angle. Myla Hadley steps in last minute. Congrats to her, but does anyone stop to feel bad for Boltinhouse? Because here's the thing, we're treating this like a reality show twist. The villain gets eliminated, the underdog takes over. But real people's lives are getting derailed by viral outrage. What's fascinating, and kind of tragic, is how this plays into the cancel culture debate. Are we holding people accountable for growth, or just punishing them for being human? If Boltinhouse apologized, learned, and evolved since those posts, does that matter? Or is the court of public opinion just about public execution? But let's zoom out. This isn't just about one person. What this incident reveals is the absurd pressure on modern public figures to be flawless. Pageant queens aren't just competing in swimsuits anymore, they are expected to be woke, polished, politically correct 24/7. And that's impossible. Humans are messy. Opinions evolve. But social media freezes our past in amber, letting others judge us by our worst moments. So is the solution to delete old accounts? To live in fear of a screenshot? That's not accountability, that's a culture of paranoia. Here's my hot take, maybe we need a forgiveness framework for the digital age. Like, what if we acknowledged that people's views change, and instead of instantly deplatforming them, we engage with current actions? But of course, that's complicated. It's easier to just cancel someone and move on. This whole saga isn't about a pageant title, it's about how we, as a society, handle growth, redemption, and the permanence of our digital footprints. So before the next outrage storm hits, ask yourself, are you punishing the behavior, or weaponizing the past? And what does that say about us?